You compare yourself to everyone else you see, and you're not enough because you don't dress like that one, or you don't have hair like that one.
This what you want, dog? This what you want, my partner? You that green?
Coming up here with cameras in my face?
What's up? Look at what you doing, dog. What's up with that, man? Look, I ain't gonna yell at
I
you.
don't need your money for no bills.
I ain't gonna disrespect you.
Okay, don't.
But you gotta get your shit in a row.
If this is what you wanted from the beginning, you should never did this shit. You the one that came up in here. I've been talking to you about how I felt. This is the result. And you're not even addressing your homeboy.
He in on it.
Your homeboy.
He in on it. He's a decoy.
Same area the whole entire time.
Oh, you was in on this shit too.
Dumbass.
Why did you wanna mess with him in the first place?
Honestly, he's been the realest thing in this entire relationship between me and him. And honestly, I actually fuck you. And the fact that you think her acting like, oh, you doing this shit for the motherfucker, when all this shit done, I bet you wanna be upstairs.
And that's cool.
Tell us the truth! Alright, what's good, YouTube? It's your man, Book of AlphaRonomy, a.k.a. Dr. B.O.A. Yep, I got time today. Phylicia Rashad just had a phenomenal interview with The Breakfast Club, man, and I saw her on interview with Sway in the morning. Same phenomenal energy, man. You know, man, it's easy to love that woman, man. You know, I don't know how she is in real life, but man, that is the kind of woman that we all want. She's soft-spoken, she's thoughtful, she thinks before she speaks, she always says something profound, and she has always represented herself well in public. Like when you see her, you see regality. You see a woman who respects herself. You see an older woman who is just so iconic that she's been able to plug in with the younger generation just because of who she was on the Cosby Show. And you come to realize that the real her in real life is kind of what you would expect Claire Huxtable to be in real life at this age. So shout out to her, man. In this clip, man, that we're going to watch today, she's going to support something that I say all of the time. The only other man I've heard say this is 50 Cent. And it is, a woman needs to have something that she prides herself in, that gives her validation, that gives her confidence other than her body, other than her physicality. Because here's the thing about a woman who invests all of her time and energy into her physical appearance. It's the one thing in her that doesn't get better as she gets older. Your mind gets better as you get older. Of course, you can fall off a cliff later on in life, but you get wiser. You get more patient. You become calmer. You seek peace more. You know, you become more inspired. You become more inspiring. You know what I'm saying? You become more appreciative of life itself. And I want y'all to understand something. The majority of these women today, they don't do that because they're all focused on their physicality. So let's take a listen to this clip of Phylicia Rashad, and then we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
The lesson you learned way too late in life that you wish you figured out sooner?
Was that I'm enough. As a young girl growing up, you know, and young girls go through this, you'll know.
Yes.
You go through a period where you feel like because you're looking outside yourself, you compare yourself to everyone else you see, and you're not enough because you don't dress like that one, or you don't have hair like that one, or you don't have legs like that one. Or you can think of any number of things where you feel like you're not enough. And that's a subtle thing that you'll carry with you until you look inside yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that thinking vanishes and goes away. Because it's only when we look inside ourselves that we see what beauty really is.
So when did you get to that place of worthy?
I was about 34, 35 years old.
Wow.
And now I look back at those pictures of myself and I say, why'd you feel like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's why it's important to teach young people to look inside the mind, the state of mind.
These women have to be taught this. They have to be raised this way. Because if you're not raised that way and you get caught up in this society, you got to understand, dog, that there's a bunch of things that can happen to a woman who's living her life physically. You know what I mean? Who every time she interacts with a man, it's on a physical level. Everything she does is physical. That's how a woman end up with 5 kids by 10 men, because she lived her life physically. Every interaction was physical. The more physical interaction you have with a person, the more comfortable y'all become. You end up with a baby with that person. And then you do that with the next person, you end up with another baby. And then you do that with another baby. So a lot of times these women aren't necessarily 304s, but they have the mindset that all they have to offer someone is their physicality. And so they want to give a man access to that as quickly as possible because they know in their mind, they convince themselves that that's all they have to offer. And honestly, some of them only have that to offer. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you like this, I tell you all the time, and we'll hear 50 Cent say the same thing.
If your appearance is your largest asset, you're going to do some whole shit.
If all a woman has is her physical beauty to give her validation, she gonna do some whole shit. That's just what she's gonna do. And I want y'all to understand that that's how it is. There's nothing we can do about that. I want you as men to stop trying to change women. Stop trying to make them be what you want them to be. The time to shape a woman is when she's young. You can't meet a woman that's already who she is, already set in her ways, and think you're going to be able to shape anything about her. You really can't. That's why in other cultures, they like younger wives. Like they want to catch a woman before she goes out into the world and lives all that life. So 20 years old, 21 years old, 22 years old, perfect time, man, to catch a wife, because by the time she's 26, 27, she's already connected with men in that physical way. And that's why the attachment is so strong when a woman connects with men physically, because a woman goes all in with that physical connection. You understand me? And so I want y'all to understand that a woman who doesn't believe she's anything more than something physically appealing, all she can do is be intimate with men. That's all she can do. That's the difference between a woman who doesn't even show her physique out in public and a woman who will go and have an OnlyFans account and show everything to everybody. That woman who shows anything to everybody, she's using what she has to get what she wants. Now, there are women who use this to get what they want. The women who have multiple degrees, and I'm very experienced with those women, and those women have a lot more positives than they have negatives. Now, they do have, some mindsets. They're liable to, talk a little bit more of that feminist stuff, but they're not feminists. If you're a feminist, you ain't got no husband. Any woman that's got a husband who claims she's a feminist, she's just lying. Not to me and you, she's lying to herself. But I want y'all to understand that the woman who has the degrees is a better option than the woman who only has her physicality. The woman who prides herself on being a wife and mother, like that's her dream life. She's better than the woman who only has her physicality. The woman who has, is celibate, or the woman who's abstaining, she's better than the woman who only has her physicality, because the woman who only has her physicality, when times get hard, she uses her physicality. When times are good, she uses her physicality. When she's alone, she uses her physicality. Like whatever happens in her life, her response to it is a physical response. And really the only physical response that a woman can have with a man is going to be sex. There's no other physical intimacy that a woman can have. Even the things that, cuddling and Netflix and chilling, it always ends up leading to intimacy. That's what it's supposed to lead to. And I want y'all to understand that. So I'm not saying that a woman is just a foul being because all she has is her physicality. I'm saying that woman has some issues in her past that have made her focus so much on her physicality that she has not developed the rest of herself. And I want you to understand that that woman is something to play with, not to stay with. That's why in other cultures, virginity is prized. It's prized because it represents a woman who believes she has more to offer than her physicality, because if a woman believes all she has to offer is her physicality, she's going to offer it to somebody. And very few men are going to turn it down. We know this. We know men don't really turn down physical advances from women. So if a woman is throwing herself at a man or offering herself to a man, even in a subtle way, very few men are going to turn her down if she's attractive. And honestly, in this society, she only had to be that attractive. And I want y'all to understand that, man. There's no reason for you to accept the woman as your woman if all she has is her physicality, because she's going to constantly be comparing herself to someone else. She's going to be constantly trying to fix herself. Why you think this influx of BBLs are happening, bruh? BBLs, breast augmentations. Everybody got these big tic-tac teeth in their mouth. They're getting their nose done. They're getting a lot of things done, bro. And why are they getting these things done? Because they're not happy with themselves. If you're a happy man, you cannot afford to be with a woman who is unhappy. An unhappy woman is a cancer to the life of a happy man. And I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I will cut any woman out, any woman who brings me drama, any woman who brings me trauma, any woman who brings me trouble, any woman who brings me struggle. Boy, I am cutting her off immediately. It don't matter who she is. You know what I'm saying? It could be my mama. She cut off. You understand me? She can be cut off. Because you can't afford to have that as a man. Women have all these support groups, and it's champion for women to share and for women to be open. As men, we're not supposed to be wired like that. Like, we're not supposed to be so emotionally gutted that we always need to cry and always need somebody around. As men, we got to avoid the stuff that stresses us out like that. Your goal as a man is to get to a point in life where you can avoid that stress as quickly as possible. Because being all emotional and crying all the time, it don't eliminate the stress. And stress is what'll make that ticker stop ticking. Bro, you got to enjoy life. And you got to make sure that everything in your life is enjoyable. And one thing that you cannot enjoy long term is a woman who only has her physicality. Those are the women that cheat. Those are the women that have babies and put it on one man. Those are the women who have babies that don't even know who their daddy is. Those are the women that have secret OnlyFans accounts. Those are the women that secretly be selling themselves. Those are the women that will marry one man and never stop being intimate with another man. Those are the women who have those male best friends that they sleep with from time to time. And I'm telling you, men like this, any of you men out there living right now, I can guarantee you, I bet you $1 to a bucket of chitlins in the country, that if your woman has a male best friend, they have slept together, they do sleep together, or they will sleep together. And sleeping together, I don't mean in a damn bunk bed either. So I'm telling y'all right now, man, you got to understand, when you hear an OG woman like Phylicia Rashad say this, the greatest thing that she did is, and listen, bro, and you look at the quality of woman she is. She didn't figure out till her 30s. So a woman who didn't have no type of guidance or no type of structure in her life, who was just allowed to wild out, for a fact that woman ain't found that out in her 30s. So a lot of times you got these women in their 30s, man, they still worrying about how they booty look in their pants. They still worrying about, the only thing they worry about is how they body look. You see them walking around with these little bitty clothes on, or these little tight clothes, something always squeezing on them, something always poking out, man, some print always showing, because that's all they have. And I'm telling you, as a man, unless you just want to play, man, you got to let that stuff go away, way. You understand me? I'm telling you, brothers, don't do it to yourselves. You owe yourself better than that. And you ladies out there, if you hadn't figured out yet that you need to have more than your physicality, okay, keep tying yourself to all these different people having all these baby by all these men. You'll learn, or maybe you won't. Honestly, who cares? Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this Prism of the Ism. And as always, Alpha's up, Beta's down. Peace.